You're standing on the deck of a merchant ship off the coast of Jamaica, and a Spanish galleon just fired on you. Cannonball rips through the mainmast. Wood explodes. Sailors screaming. Your captain is dead, half his face gone. You're a privateer now. Legal pirate for Queen Anne. Hunt Spanish ships. Keep what you take. This is your third boarding this month. You've already killed 6 men. You grip your cutlass. Blood on your boots. The Spanish ship is right there. 30 yards. Your captain, the new one, the old one's in the ocean, yells to board. You swing across on a rope, land hard on their deck. A Spanish sailor comes at you with a pike. You're faster. Your blade goes through his throat. He drops. You don't feel anything anymore, not like the first time. The first time you shook for hours, threw up, couldn't sleep. Now it's just work, kill, loot. You're making decent money, better than merchant ships, way better than starving in Bristol where you grew up. Dead father, no inheritance, brothers took everything. You got nothing but a name you don't use anymore and a talent for violence. The war has been going for 5 years. Queen Anne's War. British privateers versus Spanish and French ships. It's legal murder, sanctioned theft. You love it. You finish looting the Spanish galleon. Chests of silver, barrels of wine, fine cloth. Your share is 20 pounds, more than a year's wages on a merchant ship. You made it in one afternoon. The Spanish survivors are put in a lifeboat, sent towards shore. You're not cruel, just practical. Dead men can't row. Your privateer ship sails back to Port Royal. You drink rum in the taverns, gamble, fight, spend everything. Then back to sea, hunt more ships. The cycle repeats. You're good at this. You know how to read the wind, predict where merchant vessels sail, how to board fast, how to kill faster. The captain notices, gives you more responsibility, better weapons, bigger shares. By 1713, the war ends, treaty signed. No more privateering. You're supposed to go back to regular sailing. Merchant ships, 12 pounds a year, following orders. Hell nah. You've tasted blood and gold. You hear about Nassau in the Bahamas, New Providence Island, pirate haven. No laws, no king, just thieves running wild. You sail there in 1716. You're 30 years old now. You walk into a tavern and meet Captain Benjamin Hornigold. Pirate's creed. You find Hornigold in a tavern. Big man, cold eyes, respected, feared. You tell him you sailed as a privateer. He asks if you can fight. You nod. He hands you a pistol, tells you to prove it. There's a drunk Frenchman at the bar. Hornigold says he owes money. He doesn't. Hornigold just wants to see if you'll do it. You walk over, put the pistol to the Frenchman's head. He begs in broken English. You pull the trigger. Brains on the wall. The tavern goes silent. Then Hornigold laughs. You're in. He puts you on a sloop. 6 guns, 70 men. You're not captain yet, just crew. But you're learning. Hornigold teaches you how to hunt, where merchant ships travel, when they're vulnerable, how to board without getting killed. You capture your first prize off Bermuda, a merchant vessel carrying flour and wine. Easy target. They surrender without a fight. You take everything. Sell it in Nassau. Make more in one day than you made in a year as a sailor. The math is simple. Why risk your life for 12 pounds when you can steal hundreds? You start calling yourself Edward Teach, close enough to your real name, different enough to protect your family back in England. Not that they'd claim you now anyway. Over the next year, you capture dozens of ships. Hornigold sees your talent. You're ruthless, smart. You know when to attack and when to wait. He gives you command of a captured sloop, your own ship, your own crew. You're 31 years old, a pirate captain. This is where legends begin. Terror incarnate. You're 32 years old, November 1717. You're hunting near Martinique with Hornigold, 2 sloops, looking for prizes. You spot a French merchant ship, La Concorde, 300 tons, slave ship, just crossed from Africa. The French crew is sick, scurvy, 16 dead, 36 too ill to fight. You fire 2 volleys. They surrender immediately. You board. This ship is massive, the biggest you've ever seen. You tell Hornigold you want it. He laughs, says take it. You rename her Queen Anne's Revenge. You strip her down, rebuild her, add 40 cannons, triple the guns. You need crew. Over 300 men. You take the best fighters from Nassau, cutthroats, killers, men with nothing to lose. You pay them in shares, equal portions of every prize. That's the pirate way. You also start building your image. You're not just another pirate. You need to be memorable, terrifying. You grow your beard long, black and thick. Before battle, you braid slow-burning fuses into it, light them, your face surrounded by smoking fire, like a demon from hell. You wear a long black coat, 6 pistols across your chest and bandoliers, cutlass at your side. When merchant ships see you coming, they see death. Most surrender without a fight. That's the genius of it. Fear is cheaper than combat. You don't actually want to kill people. Dead men can't surrender. Damaged cargo is worthless. So you cultivate terror. Let the story spread. Blackbeard the demon. Blackbeard who kills without mercy. Blackbeard who drinks rum mixed with gunpowder. Most of it is lies, but useful lies. December 1717 through April 1718, you terrorize the Caribbean. St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Nevis, Antigua. You capture ship after ship. Wine, cloth, sugar, gold. You're getting rich. The crew is loyal. They're getting rich too. You hear Hornigold took the king's pardon, gave up piracy, became a pirate hunter. Traitor, you'll never surrender. This is your life now. You're free, powerful, feared across the Atlantic. You're not going back. King of the Atlantic. You're 33 years old. May 1718. You have a fleet now. 4 vessels total, 400 men. You're the most powerful pirate in the Americas. And you're about to do something insane. Blockade Charleston, South Carolina, major colonial port, busy harbor, rich merchants. You sail into Charleston harbor with all 4 ships. Guns ready, flags flying, the city panics. You capture every ship trying to enter or leave. 9 vessels in 6 days. Dozens of hostages, including Samuel Wragg, member of the provincial council. Important man, rich family. You send a message to the governor. You want a chest of medicine, not gold, not jewels, medicine. Your crew has syphilis, fever, infections. You need mercury, laudanum, surgical tools. If they don't deliver it within 2 days, you'll send them Ragg's head. Then you'll sail into the harbor and burn the city. Charleston is terrified. The governor has no warships, no way to fight you. He pays, sends the medicine chest. You release the hostages, unharmed, every single one. You didn't hurt anyone, didn't need to. The threat was enough. You sail away. The entire colony breathes relief. You just held a major city hostage and got away with it. No casualties, no battle, just pure intimidation. The story spreads like wildfire. Blackbeard blockaded Charleston. Blackbeard is unstoppable. Your legend grows, but success makes you careless. June 1718. You're trying to enter Beaufort Inlet in North Carolina. Queen Anne's Revenge runs aground on a sandbar. Stuck. You try to pull her off. The Adventure grounds too, trying to help. Both ships are lost. You abandon them. Transfer supplies to a smaller sloop. Leave most of your crew stranded on a nearby island. You escape with maybe 40 men. Most of your fleet gone. Most of your crew abandoned. Either way, you're weakened. You sail to Bath, North Carolina, small town, colonial capital. You meet Governor Charles Eden. You take the king's pardon. Official forgiveness for all piracy. Eden performs your wedding. You marry a 16-year-old plantation girl, your 14th wife. You buy a house. You're a gentleman now, respectable. For 3 months, you play the part, then you get bored. The sea calls, you can't help yourself. You start raiding again. Small targets, quick hits. You bring the stolen cargo back to Bath. Bribe the governor with barrels of sugar. He looks the other way. You think you're untouchable, protected. You're wrong. The Last Stand. You're 38 years old, October 1718. Everything's falling apart. Governor Spotswood of Virginia wants you dead. He doesn't care about your pardon. You're bad for business. Merchant ships avoid these waters. Trade is suffering. He hires Lieutenant Robert Maynard, Royal Navy. 2 sloops, 60 armed men. Orders are simple. Find Blackbeard, kill him. You're at Ocracoke Inlet. You have 1 sloop left. The Adventure. 25 men, most drunk, inexperienced. Your real crew is gone. Dead, pardoned, scattered. These are just whoever you could find. November 21st, evening. You spot 2 sloops entering the inlet. You don't know who they are. You signal them to identify. No answer. Something feels wrong. Your men are nervous. You tell them to relax. You've dealt with worse. You spend the night drinking, rum and stories. But you feel it too. This is different. November 22nd, dawn. The sloops approach. You see the Union Jack, Royal Navy. Your blood goes cold. You order battle stations, but half your crew is still drunk, useless. You have maybe 15 fighters. Maynard has 60. His ships run aground on sandbars. You laugh. Amateurs. You fire your cannons, shred their decks, kill several men. You see them retreat below deck. You think you won. Blackbeard the Invincible. One more victory. You order your men to board. You swing across, pistol in one hand, cutlass in the other. Fuses smoking in your beard. You land on the deck. It's empty. Trap. Maynard's men surge up from below, 60 soldiers, swords, pistols, muskets. You're surrounded. You fight anyway. You're Blackbeard. You shoot a sailor in the face. Cut down another. Maynard comes at you with a sword. You block, counter. Your blade against his. You're stronger. You're winning. Then someone shoots you from behind. The bullet punches through your shoulder. You stumble. Another shot. Your side. You're bleeding. But you keep fighting. Can't stop. Can't surrender. A sailor stabs you in the back. You turn. Slash his throat. Another bullet. Your chest. You're on your knees now. Blood everywhere. Can't breathe. Can't see straight. Maynard stands over you. Says something. You don't hear it. You try to stand. Another stab. Your leg. You fall. Face down on the deck. Blood pooling around you. 5 gunshot wounds. 20 sword cuts. 25 total. You're still breathing. Barely. A Scottish sailor stands over you with a broadsword. Raises it high. You look up at him. Through the blood and smoke, you see your whole life. Bristol, Jamaica, Nassau, the Queen Anne's Revenge, Charleston, all of it. You try to say something. Can't. The blade comes down. Your head separates from your body. Everything goes black. Your body is thrown in the ocean. Your head mounted on Maynard's bowsprit. A trophy. They hang it at Hampton Roads, on a pike, for weeks. Your crew is captured. 13 hanged in Williamsburg. The rest rot in prison. But the stories don't stop. Within 5 years, a book is published, a general history of the pirates. It makes you immortal. Blackbeard the demon. You died in a pool of blood, outnumbered, outgunned, decapitated. But you didn't beg, didn't surrender. You died fighting. 2 years of freedom, an eternity of legend.